Okay, this is the Ivanhoe butt problem for problem number 7. The Busk-Ivanhoe Tunnel on the Colorado Midland Railroad was built in the 1890s with separate work crews starting at opposite ends at different times. The crew from the Ivanhoe started 0.7 months after or later than the crew from the Busk. Here are our rates. We have time up here. Starting at the time of construction began with the Busk. So X is equal to number of months for the Busk crew. Find the time it took to complete the total 8,473 feet of the tunnel. Round your answer to the nearest month. So Y will be our total. So we're just going to go ahead and put in our total of 8,473 feet. But remember, we've got distance times rate times time. So for the bus crew, their distance is equal to their rate, which is 137 times x times time. So that's the bus crew. For the Ivanhoe crew, their distance is equal to 115 times. Okay, now they started after the bus crew started. So the amount of months the bus crew worked minus the 0.75 months later. So you subtract out the time that the Ivanhoe crew wasn't even working while the bus crew was. X minus 0.75 is the rate and time. And again, for those of you that get stuck writing these kinds of equations, think of it this way. The total distance covered by both crews would be equal to the distance of the Busk crew plus the distance of the Ivanhoe crew. So we know our total distance is 8,473. We know the distance for Buck is represented with 137x, plus the distance for Ivanhoe is represented with 115 times the quantity of x minus 0.75. Okay, so we just go through the normal process of distributing, combining like terms, and solving. So 8,473 is equal to 137x plus 115x minus 86.25. Let's combine our like terms. 8,473 is equal to 252x minus 86.25. Add 86.25 to both sides to isolate the x term, and this is 8,559.25 equals 252x. To isolate the x completely, we divide by 252, and x is equal to 33.96, but it says round the answer to the nearest month, so that would be around 34 months. Okay. Part B, or this is for Part A. Let's go ahead and put that around. Part B says, after 8,473 feet were completed, the work crews merged under the same supervision. The combined crew took 3 months to complete the remaining 921 feet of the tunnel. Find the rate at which the remainder of the tunnel was completed. So we'll do Part B right here. We're still doing distance equals rate times time. Okay, so our distance is 921 feet. We're finding the rate, so we don't know that, times it took 3 months. So to find R, we're going to divide by 3, and 921 divided by 3 is 307. But what's the label? Well, it's a rate, so this is how many feet they went per month. So this would be, the rate is equal to 307 feet per month. And that would be the label that we would put on there. Part C, was the tunnel being completed more rapidly before or after the work crews merged? So we could say that they were actually comparing our rates. So if we combined their rates initially, 115 plus 137 is equal to if 115 plus 137 is equal to 252 feet per month. They're currently working at 307 feet per month. So we'll say before was 252 feet per month, after was 307 feet per month, so after would be our reason. I didn't have a lot of room on here to write it out in words, but when it says explain your reasoning, please make sure you are writing it out in words so that people can understand it. Okay, and that is problem number 7, and I will be moving on to number 8.